And so the human being generally is beautiful. And a person should not look at their appearance and speak with contempt about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them. And a person should not speak with contempt about the appearance of another person, and disgrace another person or make fun of another person because of their appearance, because that generally is how Allah made them. Now we know that there are people who let themselves go in all sorts of ways, and those sorts of things, of course, where there is human involvement, and that is blameworthy, and a person can be criticized for that. And whatever the case, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, umuman is general. Umuman in general is beautiful. It is beautiful. But there is a group of people who say that everything that Allah has made is beautiful. وَنَحْنُ نُحِبُّ جَمِيعَ مَا خَلَقَ. And we love everything that Allah has created. فَلَا نُبْغِضُ مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. To the point that some of the scholars, they mention about some of the Sufis and some of the sects, the firaq of the Khawarij of the past, that they said that it is a means of a taqarrub ila Allah, of drawing near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to stare at beautiful women and to stare at beautiful people. They said that we're contemplating over the beauty of Allah's creation. La ilaha illallah. Al-junun funun. There's all sorts of crazy out there, brothers. And so this is their hujjah. They say, La nubghidu minhu shay'a. We don't hate anything that Allah made. وقالوا من رأى الكائنات منه راها كلها جميلة وأنشد منشدهم وإذا رأيت الكائنات بعينهم فجميع ما يحوي الوجود مليح. And then they made poetry with these sorts of meanings. And Ibn Qayyim, he discusses this in some detail in his book about love, in the book Rawdatul Uqala, where he talks in the chapters about beauty, about the statements of these people in some more detail. وَاحْتَجُّوا بِقَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى. And they use the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as their proof. الَّذِي أَحْسَنَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَ. Or the statement of Allah, صُنْعَ اللَّهِ الَّذِي أَتْقَنَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. He has made everything with goodness and perfection. And He has made everything with ihsan that He has created. And He has created everything well. And they say that Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, He said, this is the creation of Allah, the one who created everything with perfection and detail and exactitude. وقوله ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت والعارف عندهم يصرح بإطلاق الجمال ولا يرى في الوجود قبيحا. And they say that the person who has special mystical knowledge, the arif, the person who has gnosis, Gnosis, who has ma'rifah, they say, and who has some hidden knowledge and a deep understanding, super deep, that only they and those who are like them, who are the adepts and the elites of their ideologies, can understand. They say that everything in existence, absolutely and unrestrictedly, is beautiful. وَهَؤُلَاء قَدْ عُدِمَتْ الْغِيرَةُ لِلَّهِ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. If a person was to assert such a statement, unrestrictedly, open-endedly, without qualifying their statement, without limiting their statement to that which is actually beautiful and love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, then such people are lacking ghirah in their hearts. Such people are lacking ghirah in their hearts, and a protective jealousy over what is inviolable and what is important and what is special. وَالْبُغْضُ فِي اللَّهِ وَالْمُعَادَةُ فِيهِ. And they are lacking the trait and the quality of hating for the sake of Allah what is hated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and having adawa for the sake of Allah, enmity for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to that which is hated by Allah. وَإِنْكَارُ الْمُنْكَرِ. And they are lacking inkar of the munkarat, rejection of what is evil and reprehensible. وَالْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِهِ وَإِقَامَةُ حُدُودِهِ. And the people who make this statement, they have left off struggling against falsehood in the path of Allah and establishing the hudud of Allah. يرى جمال الصور في الذكور والإناث من الجمال الذي يحبه الله. They say that the beauty of little boys, the amrad, and males and females, that to stare at it and contemplate over it and reflect over it and so on and so forth, that this is the beauty that Allah loves. فَيَتَعَبَّدُونَ بِفِسْقِهِمْ. And they, in their sinfulness, turn their sinfulness into a form of worship. They turn their sinfulness into a form of worship. وَرُبَّمَا غَلَى بَعْضُهُمْ حَتَّى يَزْعُمَ أَنَّ مَعْبُودَهُ يَظْهَرُ فِي تِلْكَ الصُّورَةِ وَيَحِلُّ فِيهَا. To the point that some of the most extreme of them go to such an extreme level that they say that Allah becomes incarnate and a part of the thing that they are fascinated with, the thing whose beauty they are fascinated with. They say that this is a madhar min madahir al-jamaliyah. It's a Sufi phrase. They say madahir al-jamaliyah, the manifestations of divine beauty. That Allah, that His beauty is inside of the creation. Not that Allah has bestowed beauty to the creation, but the beauty of the creation is the beauty of Allah. That Allah is part of the creation. And of course, this is kufr. This is disbelief that is ashad wa aqbah, that is more severe and more ugly and reprehensible than the kufr of the Yahud and the Nasara and the Majus. This is one of the most terrible things that a person can utter.